Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called Secret Garden by Mello Robinson, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region. We also have the brown lines are equal split lines. Flowers along the line split the line into segments, each of which has the same sum. So, for example, this line is all split by 3 flowers. So this segment is equal to the sum of this segment, which is equal to the sum of this segment, which is equal to the sum of this segment. And that works for all these equal split lines. Digits may repeat on a line, but not within a segment. So you can't have repeats within a segment. So you couldn't have something like 3 and 3 here because that doesn't you can't have repeats along a segment specifically. But you can have repeats along the line. So you could have like 3 here and then 3 here, which would be possible. Anyways, that's how equal split lines work. We also have digits separated by a green dot have a difference of at least 5. So this is basically the German whisper line, but separated into dots. So I guess there are German whisper dots? I don't know. German whisper Kropke? I don't know. So for example, if this were 3, this would have to be 8 or 9. Because the only digits that are 5 or more away from 3 are 8 and 9. We also have digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. So for example, if this were a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7. And those are white Kropke dots. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, So one thing I like doing for German whisper-like situations is I like coloring essentially one set and then basically because you always alternate between low digits and high digits on German whisper setting or German whisper rule set, right? So if you have a difference of 5 or more, you'll always have 1 through 4 next to digits from 6 through 9, right? Because 1 can be next to 6 through 9, 2 can be next to 7, 8, or 9, 3 can be next to 8 or 9, and 4 can be next to 9. So if you have a digit from 1 through 4, it'll always be next to a digit from 6 through 9, and vice versa. So let's make this, I don't know, orange. We'll make this yellow. Therefore, these are orange because they have a difference of 5 from that digit. This must be yellow, then this must be orange. So we have 2 oranges here, interestingly enough. So if these were both low, okay, say the oranges were both high. It's possible that this could be low. The question, what I'm trying to think of is could this be like yellow, essentially, right? Even if this were yellow. Could be orange, though, too. So these two are the same set. These two are the same set, essentially. Right? So we could have light and dark. And then we'll make this pink and medium gray. So then these would both be pink. Interesting. So this is 3 digits adding up to the same as 2 digits, and 2 digits. This is 1 digit, which is the same as 2 digits, 2 digits, 2 digits. 1 digit, same as 2 digits, 2 digits, 2 digits. 2 digits, the same as 2 digits, same as 2 digits, same as 2 digits. Okay. Hmm. These digits are always consecutive with this digit. So this is consecutive with 2 digits. So it has to be at least 2 through 8. This is... These could be the same digit, technically. These could not be the same digit. So this has to be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 anyways, because it's next to 2 unique digits guaranteed here on the same row and the same column. Okay. This could be 1 through 9 here. Okay, so these can never be greater than 9, right? Because they're the sum, they add up to essentially at least 1 digit, right? These have to be at least 3 through 9 here because they're the sum of 2 unique digits. Obviously this is not 5. And this is not 5 because this is not 5 and this is not 5 because they are next to a German whisper rule or dot. I'm not sure how to call them. Um, Interesting. Can this be two lows? I guess it would have to be like 3 4 or 2 4, right? Because you need 3 digits that actually are add up to the same amount. So if this is 3 4 or 2 4, so 4 would have to be one of these, which means both of these would be 1. So that kind of works, I guess. So these can never be 1, but they could be 2. 2, 3, 4. Obviously, 6, 7, 8, and 9 work. Interesting. Okay. One thing we do know, the sum of all these segments adds up to 45, right? Because this is a segment, this is a segment, this is a segment, and this is a segment, and this is a segment. So one of every segment on the line adds up to 45. So we know this is a segment, this is a segment, and this is a segment. Therefore, these three digits add up to the same as these three digits and these two, right? Because these two are this. Well, no, that's not true. These three digits must sum up to what these two digits add up to. Okay. Oh, they could be orange and orange here. Huh. Let's see. So if these are both low, you have 2, 4, 2, 4, then this would have to be 9 and 9. Right? 2, 4 or 3, 4 with 9 and 9. So if these are high, that means these have to be low. And the lows would have to add up to at least 6. So it has to be at least 2, 4 or 3, 4. So this would be 9 and 9. So this can never be 7 or 8. It's specifically 9 and 9 if those are high. This would also have to be low. Well, could be no. Okay, it's next to two unique digits on a German Whisper rule set. So it's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, it would have to be low because 7 would already be greater than these two. So this would be the same as orange if that were the case. This could be any combination though. Oh, well, no. I don't think this can be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. If this were 1, 2, 3 here, the problem is that would make this 7, 8, 9, which would be next to two low digits, but then that would have, we already have 1, 2, and 3 here. If we also have 7, 8, 9 here, we have the same problem, right? 7, 8, and 9. This must be 1, 2, or 3. It's next to two high digits, and 7, 8, and 9 already takes 3 of the high digits. So this can't be 2, and this can't be 8. That's interesting, actually. So if these are both low, this must also be low, which means these are both high. Hmm. Can this ever be two highs is kind of the question, right? Hmm. Hmm. So these can never be 9 or 1. These have to be 2 through 8 here. Well, where are the 9s possible? The 9 could be here, here, or here. Interesting. In box 5. That's what we're looking for specifically. If this is 2, 3, and 4, the problem is these become both high. So it's 6 and 7 at minimum. Or I guess, it has to be 6 and 7 because, again, you can't have repeats within the same segment. And then this would be 1. And then 1 plus 7 at 1 plus 3 at most doesn't add up to 2 highs. So this cannot be 2, 3, and 4 because of that problem. If this is 6, 7, 8, I think you have a similar problem, right? That becomes 9, and then these become 2 lows, and then that doesn't add up. So you cannot have 6, 7, 8 either here. So 5 has to be one of these 3 digits, right? It's either 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6, 7. So 5 is one of these 3 digits, which means this can't be 5, and this can't be 5. Hmm. 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 Can these ever be different sets? Obviously, if this is high and this is low, that wouldn't work because this adds up to 7. This would be 7 by itself, and that doesn't work. Can this be low and these high, though? If this is low, this is 3 and 6. So again, this can't be high with this being low because adds up to 7 at most, and therefore this adds up to... This would be 7 by itself, so that doesn't work. If this is low and this is high, this adds up to a 13 at least, and this adds up to 9 at most. So that wouldn't work. So this has to be the same as orange. Oops. This must be the same as orange, and these are yellow. So we have 2 each of both of these. Hmm. So either one of these two is a 9, or these two are 9. Hmm, that's interesting. Can this ever be 3? If this were 3, then this has to be 4 2 or 3 4. But the problem is, if this is 3 4, this would have to also be 3 4. So this can't be 3 here. What else do we have? Hmm. If oranges are high, that means they have to be with lows here. That seems fine. If oranges are low, they don't have to be with a high, necessarily. This is between two unique digits, so this is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. This is between two unique digits, so it's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Hmm. So can this ever be high is kind of the question. If it's high, it also forces this to be high, right? These are high, and these must be low. These would be low then also. These would be high, they would be next to two lows. So if this is high, these must it's the same as all the oranges. The oranges are all highs then, if that's the case. Um so if this is high, this is also high. These are high because it has to be because that's at least 7. These would be lows. These would be lows and these would be lows. Hmm. These would be highs. These would be highs. That's interesting. Then these would have to also be high. Hmm. If this is a 3 or 4 or 5, that would mean both of these are low, both of these are low, and both of these are low. So then the oranges would all be low. So this would add up to 6 or 7. So say this was 3, 4, 5, right? That means all the pinks would be low. So these would all be low. These would be high. All the oranges are low. All the yellows are high. This would also have to be low and low to add up to whatever this is. These would all be low. This is low, but we don't know what this is, right? So we're setting one of these to 3, 4, 5. So this would be low. Ah. So this would be 9 and 9, obviously. Let's be low. These would both have to be low because they add up to, well, you could have 5. So this is definitely low. This is 1 through 4, 1 through 4. This is obviously low. This is high. This is high. One of these is a 9. This would be 1 or 2. So we'd have 3 lows. Therefore, this could not be 3. So it would be 4 with 5 or 6. Can this ever be 3 is kind of 3 or 4 is the question. If this is 3, then this becomes, first of all, this can't be 3, so this becomes 1, 2, and 4, which means this adds up to 7, so it's 3 and 4 here. This has to be 1 and 2, 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 1 and 2 here. Oh. Well, no, never mind. It would be different digits. Yeah. 1 and 2 is only consecutive with 1, 2, or 3. Therefore, and it can't be 1 or 2 because of the 1, 2 pair in the box. So this would be 3, which would force this to be 2, which would make this 1. So this would be 2. Force this to be 1, that's 2. Oh, wait, that's not 2. This is 1 because of the 2 on the segment. So this is 2, this is 1 because of the 2 in the segment. This 1 eliminates 1 here, so it's 2, 1, which would force this to be 1. This would be a 2, 4 pair. This would have to be 6. And then 5 or 7 with it. Which means the 6, 7 pair would be eliminated. This could not be 1 or 2, could not be 6, 7, or 8. This is 3 or 4 then. This can't be 1 because of the 1 in the row. So one of these lines adds up to 14, the other adds up to 16. So one of these would have to be 7 and 9. Okay, obviously 1 could not be here, 1, 3 cannot be here. This can't be 3, therefore this is a 4. Therefore this is 3 here, which makes this 4. This adds up to 7. So it's not 1, 6, it's not 3, 4, it's 2, 5. Therefore, this is 5. and this is 2. This can't be 2 or 3. Cannot be 2 or 3. This can't be 2 or 4 or 5. This can't be 4 or 6. One of these is 7, 9, and the other one adds up to 16. So we have 7, 9, 6, 8 as possibilities. And that would break. Because this couldn't be 6. We need a 3 somewhere here. And 3 doesn't work for any of these that add up to 14 or 16. Right? So I guess that's one way to disprove this being 3. That's not very helpful. So this can't be 3. What about 4? If it's 4, this is 1 and 3. This has to be 1, 2, and 3 added up. This can't be 3 or 4. Therefore, this is 1 and 3. This is 1 and 3. This is 1 and 3. And the thing is, it works on both sides. So the only thing about these scenarios is to differentiate which side's which, right? I guess not completely. There's more of a limitation on the other side. Interesting. Okay, let's see what happens if we try the other side. Yeah, let's try this side then. Obviously, this is low, this is low, this is low, this is low. This is low, low. These are both 9s. One of these is a 9. This is 1 through 4, 1 through 4. So say this was 3. This was 3. We'd have 1, 2, 4, which make this adds up to 7. So this can't be 4. This can't be 3 then. This has to be 1 and 2, 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 1 and 2. This 1, 2 pair eliminates 1 and 2 here, so this has to be 3 or 4 also. This is 1 through 4. This 1, 2 pair eliminates 1 and 2 here, so this is 3 or 4. This is 7, 8, or 9, but it actually has to be 8 or 9. This can't be 3 or 4. This is 7, 8, or 9. It's next to both 1, 2s. This can't be 1 or 2 because of the 1, 2 pair. In the box. Let's see. We're going to mark this pink and green because these are different 1, 2s. So this must be the pink 1, 2. This is the pink 1, 2 also, which makes this the green 1, 2. This is different, so this must be pink, which makes this green, which makes this pink. So the green 1, 2 cannot be here. The pink 1, 2 has to be here. Pink 1, 2 is one of these two. We're not sure which. Pink 1, 2 is one of these. The green 1, 2 has to be one of these two. We're not sure which. It's also one of these 3. One of these 3. So far, that's looking okay. This obviously can't be 3 because of the 3 in the column. So this actually might work. The only reason the other one didn't work was it was well. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not 8. Because it can't be 1 or 2 in the column because of the 1, 2 pair in the column and the 9 in the box. So this cannot be 8 or 7. This can't be 8 or 7 because that would add up with 3 to add up to 10 or 11. Same here, at minimum. So 3 doesn't work on this side, but it looks like it's okay on this side. If this is 5, 6, 7 in any context, it becomes a little problematic, right? 7, 9, and the other one has to be 6, 8. So it'd be 7, 9, and 6, 8 here. This would either be 1, 6 or 2, 5. Okay, so the green one, has to have 2 digits adding up to 7. You have to have 1, 6 or 2, 5 here because you can't have 3, 4 because that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. Well, the pink one can't be on it. The green one has to be on it. So this has to be the green low. And this is 1, 2. So this is 5, 6 with it. This then cannot be the green low. The green low has to be one of these. Or the green 1, 2, I guess we should say. So this could not be 1 or 2. Well, we know if this is 5, 7, and this is 6, that would mean we would have to have 7, 9 in one of these, and then 6, 8 in the other. So this would be 5 and 2, and this would be 2. This would be 6 and 1. That does actually work. So let's see what happens there. This is 5, this is 2, this is 1. This has to be 2, this is 2, these are 1. And this is 6 to add up. This is a 5, 7 pair, which eliminates 6, 7 here. This is 8, 9 pair. One of them's 9 and 7. This has to be 3 or 4 then. And we have one of these is 7, 9. The other one is 6, 8 here. 3, 4. This is then 2. This is 1. So far looking okay. This can't be 8, 6 or 7. It's 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is consecutive with only 3, 4, 5. This adds up to 7 at most because it's only 3 and 4 at most. So this is not 8 or 9. This is 5, 6, or 7. This can't be 6 then or 5 because then that would add up to at minimum 8. Same here, no 5 or 6. This is a low then. This is low. That's interesting. One of these would have to be 9 and 7 to add up to 16 specifically. So this could not be 7. It's 5 or 6. So this could never be 4, because that would be 4 and 3 added together. This could never be 4 or 3 because of the same reasoning. So this is 1 or 2. This could never be 3 or 4. This is 1 or 2. Therefore, this is the 2. This is the 1. You have 1, and that would have to be 1 and 4 then, adding up together, because it doesn't add up to 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this is 1 and 4. This is 2 and 3. This is can only be 2. Therefore, this is 3. This must be 5 then. One of these is 7, 9. The other is 6, 8. So that seems okay. Oh, this one doesn't actually have, no, actually it does have to be. It would have to be, same thing. This is 6 or 7 here. The 7's with the 9, the 6 is with the 8. Because otherwise it just doesn't fit. Seems fine. This 3 is consecutive only with 4. This would be 4, so this would be 3. This actually seems to work. This is obviously 1. This can't be 2, so this is 4, which makes this a 2. Therefore, this is the 2. This actually seems to work. Neither of these could be 9, so the 9 has to be one of these two, which means the 7 has to be correspondingly here, so this can't be 7. Huh. This actually works. There's probably a more elegant way of looking at finding this break-in here. I was hoping for a contradiction, and I did not see one. So, not great. Okay. What happens... What happens if we try to make them all large is kind of the question, right? Do we arrive at a contradiction on the other side is kind of a question, right? So what happens if these are all large? That means these are low. One of these is a 9. So this would be 1 through 4 here. Could not be 9. This would be high. Therefore, this would have to be a low to compensate. And it could only be 1 through 3 here. That means this is at minimum 7. Right? Because it's 6 and 1 at minimum. These add up to at least 13. So this is 4 through 9 here. Can these ever actually be 3? If this is 3, that means this is 8 and 9. So this is 8 and 9. Okay, yeah, these can never be 3. Because if these are 3, this forces this to be an 8-9 pair, because again, you can't have repeats on the segments. That would force both of these to be 8-9, and that's not allowed. Hmm. Okay, that's one good thing to know then. Maybe I should have done that more. uh, so these can never be 3 because of that reasoning. Can they ever be 2? Possibly if you have 7 and 8, right? So if these add up to 7 and 8, then you could have 6, 9 here. And then this could be 6 and 9. These 3 would add up to 15. And you could have 6 and 9 here next to the 1, right? Because then you have 6, 9. This adds up to 7, 8. That's actually a little problematic. Can this ever be 9 is kind of the question. I don't think so, right? Because this is at minimum 6 and 9. Or sorry, maximum 6 and 9. And if this is 9, this would be at minimum 6 and 9. That would force this to be 6 and 9 specifically. So this can never be 9 in that situation. That's interesting. If this is 6 and 9, we have the same problem though, right? If this is 6 and this is 9, that means this adds up to 15, but this can't be 6 anymore. And that's 5 and 9 at most. So this can never be 9 here either. So 9 can't be 6 and 9 because this is at minimum 6 here. Interesting. So it could be 7, 8, 7, 8 with 2 and 2 here. This is then 6 and 9. No, I mean, this could be 1 or 2 with the 7 or 8, right? Right, so we're trying that out. So 9 is one of these 3 no matter what. That's actually very interesting. So if this is 6 and 7, this would have to be 4 and 9 there. Okay, let's continue. What can orange ever be high is kind of the question that we're asking right now. If orange is high, that means this must be a 9. We could have 7, 8 here, 6, 8, or 6, 7. Those all seem to work okay. So if this is 2, it has to be 7 and 8, right? Or no, sorry, yeah. If either of these are 2, it has to be 7 and 8. We don't have to have both 2s there, though. So what happens if it's 7 and 8? 2, well, we don't know. This would be 6, 7, or 8. This would have to be 4, 1, 2, or 3 to go with the 6, 7, 8. This would have to be at least 7. This would be at least 7. Obviously, 9 would not be here. These would be 1 through 4. These would be 1 or 2. This would have to be 6, which would force this to be a 3-5 pair. Sorry, 5-7 pair, which would force this to be 8, which would make that 7. Therefore, we would not have 6, 7, 8 here. It's 1 through 4, 1 through 4, which makes this 1 through 5. To add up to 7, we would have to have at least 3 or 4 here and 3 or 4 here. This adds up to 15, so it's 6 and 9. That means 8 has to be one of these digits. And you can only have 8 and 1 add up to 2 and 7. So one of these has to be 2 and the other one has to be 7, but they both could be 2 here. We have 1 and 8 here somewhere, which means this can't be 1, this can't be 1. So neither of these can be 8 then. This is 6 or 7, this is 6 or 7. Ah, and then you would have a contradiction. Because one of these would have to be 2, 7, they would add up to 9. Well, okay, never mind. This adds up to 9. Never mind. I was going to say that, yeah, you have to have one of these be 7. One of them has to be 7, at least. Oh, no, you have a contradiction. Yes. So this would be 7, 2, at least. Right? And the other one would have to be 6 and 3 at least, but they would both be 9, and therefore you would have 2 9s in box 7. Because this 7 2 would add up to 9, and this 6 3 would add up to 9. And that's not allowed. So you can never have 2 here. So this is only 1 or 9 in these two boxes here. These two cells, sorry. That's interesting. So this is specifically, oops, 1 and 9. I think we still have the same problem, right? If it's still, even if this is still 7, 8, and these are 1s, this becomes 6, 9. Neither of these could be 8 because these have to be high. Since these are high, they have to be with lows. We have to have an 8 somewhere here. This would be 7. This would be 8 because of the 5, 6, 7 triplet, 6 and 9. So this would be 8. This would be 7. We would need an 8 here. It would have to be with 1, so this would be 2 or 3. This would be 2 or 3 with 6 or 7 and 6 or 7. And they would both add up to 9. Same problem. So this cannot be 7 and 8. Can it be 6 and 8? Possibly? This is really convoluted. Anyways, just trying to run into the contradictions here. This can never be 7. If this were 7, the problem is both of these would be high. And this would have to be 7 and 6 at least. That would mean this would be 6 and 7. But the 6 and 7 in this box would eliminate 6 and 7 for that cell, so that would be not possible. So this cannot be 7 here. In fact, actually, this is always 9, right? Because, again, we can't have a 9 in the yellows because they're not high. We can't have a 9 anymore here, and these can't be 9 because they're add up to, at most, 9 with another digit. And these are consecutive. So 9 always has to be here if it's the high. Okay, so what if this is 9? If this is 9, then this is obviously high. This is high. You cannot have 7 and 8. So this can't be 6 in that context. We know 4 and 5 have to be here then, which means 4 cannot be here, 4 cannot be here, 4 can't be here. Okay, so this is always 1, 2, or 3 if it's low. Okay, this is high. Same reasoning. This is high. This is at most 1, 2, or 3. If it adds up to 16, well, we know these are both 1s, right? So these are both 1s, which means 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, 1 is one of these two. Again, it's 1, 2, or 3 here. If it's 5 and 9, that means this is 6 and 8 adding up. We know one of these is a 6, right? So if it's 5 and 9, that adds up to 6 and 8. This would be 4, 5, and 6 with the 5. Which means this couldn't be 6. So this is 8, this is 6. These two add up to 14, so it's 5 and 9. We're missing a 7, and we're missing an 8. And these are both 1, and they add up with 1, 6, and 1, 4, so that adds up to 7 at most. And 7 and 8 can never add up with another digit to add up to 8. So the 1, 5 doesn't work either. What about 4? So if we have 4 here, these have to be a 1, 2 pair. This becomes 6, 7, and 8. This is actually 6 and 7. So these add up to 13. It's either 4, 9, or 5, 8 here, adding up to 13. So one of these has to be 8 or 9, but obviously 1 and 5 is 6 at most. So 8 or 9 has to be one of these, and it can never add up to what 1 and 5 add up to. So we've proven orange does have to be low from this. So therefore, because we've run into a contradiction every time we've tried to make it a high. So now we know oranges are all lows. So oranges are all lows, yellows are all highs. This must be a low then to add up with 3 digits to add up to 2 lows. So the pinks are all lows, and the grays are all highs. Okay, so the 9... hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Pause. I'm gonna pause. Apologies, that was a phone call from my mom. Anyways, let's get back to the puzzle. We know these are highs, so this has to be 9 here, and these have to be 2, 4, or 3, 4. One of these is a 4, though. We know for certain. These have to be lows, so 1 through 4. This is 1 or 2, and it has to be next to 2 and 9 with 6, 7, 8 as possibilities. This must be the sum of 1 through 4 for 3 digits. And we know 1 and 2 both have to be here. So these are all lows. These are all highs. So these are highs. These are highs. We don't know very much about these, though. Yeah, so I made an assumption for the 3 and the 5, but that seemed okay, actually. These are lows, obviously. These are lows. This could be two lows next to each other, adding up to 3. We know this can't be 3, though. We've tried that one. This one, though, could be 3. And that seemed to work okay. These are 2 digits adding up to at most 7. So it's 1 through 6. We know we need a 9 here somewhere. Okay. If this is 3, 4, 5 in any order, that would force this to be 2 and this to be 1. But then we'd have 1 and 4 adding up together. And this would be 2. So this can never be 3, 4, 5. So this has to be at least 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. 6 then has to be one of these 3 digits, which means this cannot be 6 in either in the rest of the box. So these can't be 6. If this adds up to 6, it's 2 and 4 here. So this must add up to 6, and that would only be 1 and 5 if that's the case. So if this is 2 and 4, this has to be 1 and 5. This would be 4 and 6 then, to be consecutive with the 5. So this would be 2. So if this is 2 and 4, again, this has to be 1, 5, and that makes both of these 4 and 6, which eliminates 4 here. So this would be 2. So this could not be 2. It's either 3 or 4 here. Okay. Okay, so this can never be 1. If this were 1, that would force this to be 2 to be consecutive with it and eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this can't be 1 specifically. So one of these 2 digits is a 1 because of that. Because in the rest of the box, there's no other place for the 1. Therefore, this cannot be 1. This is 2, 3, or 4. Hmm. Can this ever be 4 here? If this is 4, that would mean this is 3, so this is 4. So it would require a 3 to be with it, and therefore it would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this can never be 4. If this is 3, I don't think it can be 3 either, right? If it's 3, you have the same problem, right? This becomes 4. Either this is 3, 4, adding up to 7, so the 3 would have to add up with the 4, but that would eliminate all possibility. That would have a repeat in that box. Or this is 2, that would add up to 6, and 3 would have to add up with 3, and would have a repeat in that box. So this can't be 3. Interesting. So this is 1, 6, or 2, 5, or 1, 5. This is at least 13, and this is at least 13, because it has 4 through 7 here. That means this must add up to 13 also. Well, 9 cannot be here or here. So 4 can't be here or here. Interesting. So 1 out of 1 or 2 is... Okay, so 3... Interesting. Okay. If one of these is 4 and 9, the problem is this would have to be 9 and 4 to add up, right? So say this is the 4 and 9. That would add up to 4 and 9 here, which would mean 4 could not be in either of these spots, but then these two spots would not ever add up to 3 unique digits adding up to it, right? Because it would be 2 and 3 at most. So 4 cannot be either of these cells. So one of these cells is 5 through 9. So, sorry, 4 of these 4 cells have to be 5 through 9. Because these 4 cells are 5 through 9, and this is 5 or 6 guaranteed, that eliminates 5 through 9 in the rest of the cells. Interesting. Therefore, these are both low. They have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore, this is 3 and 4 at most, which means this adds up to 7 at most here. Therefore, this can't be 7 or 8. This can't be 7 or 8. This can't be 7 or 8. It can't be 6 either, because these two add up to at most 7. No 7 or 8 here. No 6 either. This is 2, 3, or 4. It's next to 1 through 5, but 1 can't be here, because if 1 were here, this would have to be 2, which would eliminate all possibilities for this cell. This can't be 7 or 8 because of the same reasoning. This can't be 7 or 8 also. So this is low. So we have low, low, and low here. That eliminates 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the rest of box 5. So this can't be 4 here. This has to be 5, 6, and 7. So this is 6. This is 5 and 7 added together. This 5-7 pair eliminates 5 and 7 in the rest of the box, so this is 8 and 9. We know this adds up to at most 7, and this is a 6 already, so this must be 1. Which means this cannot be 1 here. This adds up to 7, so this must be 1, 2, and 4. So 4 cannot be in the rest of the box. This must be 3 and 4 added together. This must be 1, 6 or 2, 5. We're not sure which. We have a 9, 7 here and a 9, 5 in the other spot. So this one of these adds up to 16. The other adds up to 14. Therefore, these 4 must add up to 30. Right? 16 plus 14 is, and that's what we were doing the whole time, right? This is, one of these adds up to 16, one of these adds up to 14, therefore all 3 of these must add up to 16, sorry, all 4 of these must add up to 16 plus 14, which is 30. And there's only one combination that is allowed there. It has to be 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 must be with the 7, so, and the 6 has to be with the 8. So 6 cannot be here because of the 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet in the box. Therefore, to add up to 7, this must be 2 and 5, which eliminates 2 here and 2 here. Same here, right? Since we know these two segments add up to 30, these two segments must add up to 30. So, and the only possible combination is 6, 7, 8, 9 for 4 digits, 4 unique digits. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. That 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet in box 7 eliminates 6 and 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the box. This can't be 6 or 7, it's 5. This can't be 5, 6, or 7, it's 3, which forces this to be 1 and 2. Interesting. This then must be 2, which makes this 1, which makes this 2, which makes that a 1. So this can't be 1 here. This can't be 2 because of the 2 in the box. We have 3 and 4, can be next to 2, 3, 4, 5. This 1, though, eliminates 1 here, so this is 2. This is 1. This can't be 1 here. It can't be 1 here. This can't be 1 here. It has to be 2 and 3 adding up to 5. And this can't be 3 because of the 3 in the column. So this is 2, this is 3. This is 1 and 2 adding up with 3 and 4 here. This must be 1 and 2 adding up with 3 or 4 here. So this 1, 2 pair eliminates, and this 2 eliminates 2 here. So this is 1, which makes this a 4 to add up to 5. This is then 2. This is 3, which makes this 4 eliminates 4 here. So that's 3, which forces this to be 4 to add up to 7. This 2 eliminates 2 here. It's 4 and 2. This 2 eliminates 2 here. It's 1. This can't be 2 or 3, and it's consecutive with 3, so it has to be 4. Okay. These combinations, either it's 9, it cannot be 8 and 8, because you can't have repeats on the same segment. So it's 9 and 7 somewhere, and the other one has to be 6 and 8. So this is 6, 7 also. 6 has to be one of these two, so it must be with 8 here. So this can't be 8. 2 eliminates 2 here, so this is 5, this is 2. These digits cannot be 9. And it can't be 1, 2, or 3. So this is 4 through 8. This is consecutive with 3, no 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 can be consecutive with 3, 5 can be consecutive with 6, 6 can be consecutive with 7, 7 can be consecutive with 6 or 8, 8 can be consecutive with 7 or 9. One has to be here. And this is very similar to what we were doing before. One has to then be in box 1, one of those two. One has to be in box 4, one of those two. So those are all the ones. 2s. 2 can only be here in box 1. And we have 8 2s now, so the last 2 has to be here. This can't be 4, this can't be 5. So that's 2s. I think that's all the 2s. 3s. 3 cannot be here or here in box 1, but it could be any of these two. 3 can't be here or here. No, here or here. It's one of these two here. What about 4s? 4 cannot be here, here, or here, so 4 must be here in box 1, which makes this a 3, which means this has to be 1, so this can't be 1. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we know we're getting close to solving it. This must be 1 then because of where the 1s can be. 3 can't be here anymore or here, so this must be a 3 here, which means 3 has to be one of these two. 3 is one of those two. 3 can be any of those. 4s. 4 cannot be here or here or here, so this must be a 4 here. That leaves 4 as one of these two, which is fine. 4 has to be one of those two, which is fine. Okay, now 5s. Kind of limited, okay. What are the remaining digits in column 4? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. In box 4, where can the 9 be? The 9 can only be one of these two cells. So this cannot be 9. Therefore, the 7 cannot be with there. We already knew that because that's 3, 8, and 9. This is then 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 cannot be here and cannot be here. Therefore, 5 in box 4 must be here, which means this can't be 5. This is 7. This can't be 5 or 7. This is 7 and 9, so this adds up to 16. Therefore, this must add up to 16. It's 7 and 9. This can't be 7 or 9 here. This is 5. So this must be 7 and 9 to add up to 16. This must be 7 and 9 to add up to 16. And this has to be a 6, 8 pair. So this is 6 and this is 8. This has to be 6 and 8 here. This can't be 6 or 9. This can't be 7. This can't be 7. So 9's one of these. So this can't be 7 or 9, 6 or 8. We have in row 3 a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the row. Actually, we have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair in column 9, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the column. This can't be 6 or 8. This can't be 6 or 8. If this were 7, it's not consecutive with anything, so this can't be 7. This must be 3, which must be consecutive with 4. So this can't be 3. This is a 3 then. This can't be 6 or 9 because of the 6 and 9 in the row, so this is 8. This must be then 9. This has to be 6. These can't be 8. This is a 5, 6 pair, which eliminates 5 and 6 in the rest of the row. So this is 8, which makes this 6, which makes that 8. This can't be 7 or 8. It can't be 4 here, so this is 6. This is 5. This 3 is eliminated by that 3, so this is a 3 here. This 6 eliminates that 6, so it's 5 and 6 there. Okay, we have all the 1s now. We have all the 2s. We have all the 3s. We have most of the 4s. In box 9, 4 can't be here, here, or here, so this must be a 4 here, which means eliminates 4 here, so this is a 4. 5s. 5 cannot be here or here in box 1, so it must be here. That makes this a 7. 5 can be actually in either of those two, and either of those two, and then either of those two, so that's not helpful. 6 in box 2 has to be here. We have 8 6s now. We know where the last 6 has to be. It has to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 7. 7 cannot be here or here in box 2. It must be here. In box 8, it's one of these two. In box 6, it has to be there. So in box 9, it has to be here, which means we have 8 7s. The last 7 has to be here. 8s. In column 2, it has to be here. In box 2, it has to be here because it can't be here. In box 8, it has to be here because there's no other 8 in that row. In column 7, it's here. So that gives us 9 8s, actually. So it's all the 8s. 9 has to then be here. Cannot be here. It has to be here, and that gives us 8, 9. So the last 9 has to be here, which forces this to be 5, 5, and 5. And that's how you solve it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like necessarily my approach. Maybe I should have, yeah, I should have focused on this more. I should have focused on this area and what this could have been if this were 1, right? Yeah, because these were very limiting factors here. So this was very limiting. These were very limiting. And these adding up to certain values were very limiting, right? So if I attacked that earlier, it would have been much quicker, I think. I don't know. In between challenging and hard for me, it's not quite hard because it's still... the ideas behind it are fairly simple. It's just really the execution, where to target things, I guess. I probably should have targeted this area first instead of just looking at these possibilities. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.